Hi everyone, good morning. It's Dominique. Another episode of Rise and Grow. I am actually in a Lyft, and actually, I don't know her name. I have a woman driver, which is awesome. I used to do Uber. Obviously, Uber's had a lot of like really, really, really bad press. But I used to do Uber because if I needed to, the algorithm or something on the app, like if I wanted to be on time for sure, the times were better on Uber than they were on Lyft. So if I would call Lyft and it would say 5 minutes, it'd be like 10 minutes or whatever. So, but recently I was in an Uber and this guy was telling me about kind of all the bad practices of Uber as a full-time driver and what the experience was like and all this stuff and how they cut the pay. And then this crazy video that just came up on The World, where the CEO basically reamed out one of his own Uber drivers and told him that it's not his fault, that his life's the way his life is, and X, Y, and Z, and all this stuff. Obviously, like anti-union, a lot of assumptions in there about like how people are and why they are where they are, and all the things about that. And so I actually deleted Uber from my app and from my phone. So now I'm only using Lyft, and which was a little bit of a weird shift, but it's actually kind of cool because I get a lot, not like nicer people per se, but I do get like a more diverse range of folks who are Lyft drivers, and more women as well. So it's kind of cool along the lines of the Black Women's Guide. That I think is nice. And Uber's getting more competitive for a whole bunch of reasons. So Lyft pays the driver more and better. So that's, not way, but like a little bit, enough that it makes it count, and they're a little bit nicer and work better with their drivers themselves. So that counts for a lot because human to human thoughtfulness matters in work, right? It's not just about the end client. Everyone's a client in the process, from the top of your business to the bottom. So think about that when you build a team, that everyone is a client, and even though they are working for you, you still need to support them in the right way. So I'm Ubering, or I call it Ubering, but I'm lifting into work today because it's 6:15 or 6:20 and I'm going to work. Holy crap. Yeah, so I've been working probably like 14, 15-hour days for the last couple weeks. And for those of you guys who don't know, I have a job and I run Black Women's Guide. And I didn't always. I was doing Black Women's Guide full time, but I was spending a lot of the money on Black Women's Guide on myself to live. And so I wasn't able to reinvest the money back into the business. And I'm really, really, really lucky because I was able to find a job that takes advantage of my talents, that pays me really well to do amazing work, while also being able to fund my business, because the whole point and reason why I got a job was so that I could fund my business and the growth that I wanted to see. And you guys will see the benefit of that because I'm working with a phenomenal Black woman marketing team called Trifectious, which I met at a HubSpot Inbound conference last year and just built a long-term relationship with them. And so they're going to be supporting me, and you'll see more of them. And it's really cool because we're kind of all invested in the Black Women's Guide together. Again, thinking about different kinds of business models that you can use, thinking about different approaches to building teams. So it's not everyone has to be your employee. So I have some people that are, everyone's a contractor, but some people have different levels of investment. And I don't mean literal investment like equity, but different ways our partnerships work to add value and contribute to each other's businesses so that we can build together. So again, building in communion and community is really helpful. As Black women, we know this intuitively. As people of color, we know this intuitively. And we're just trying to make sure that we create that same space here at the Black Women's Guide. So so one thing about the hours and the work and stuff like that, a lot of people say I want to quit my job and I want to go build my business, and what I would say is, like, you have, I don't know how much time do you have, you have a job, and the first thing is you have to realize that your job, it doesn't suck. Your job is paying for you to live. Like, don't ever forget that. Like, and most likely you're not giving your employer what your employer needs to get to where they want to go. So you have to think about the fact that if you're not happy where you are, or you're not getting a raise where you are, or whatever, that you have to start from the perspective of, like, what can I do more to optimize the place that I'm in. I'm not saying that every job's a fit. I'm not saying that every job's a good place to be. I'm saying that you have to think about, how do I optimize where I'm in? Because every job I've ever gotten, I negotiated whatever salary they gave me. I negotiated it before I took the job. I never went into a job where I did not negotiate my salary ever, period. And that's allowed me over the last 10 years to get, I don't know, a $15,000 or more raise every time I switch jobs. And I worked in a nonprofit and government space, so you can understand how difficult that actually is compared to maybe the finance space, where it's a little bit more obvious, or the corporate space, which is a little more obvious. So And I did that after working a year and a half, not 3 years, not 5 years in a company, a year and a half. And I switched jobs and get a $15,000 raise. So I negotiated every time I went to a new job, my salary requirements. So I think it's important, because if you have a job right now that's trying to fund your business, but you are not making enough, you're just making enough to live, then you have to realize that that's not going to fund your business, because it's just funding you to live. The first benchmark is, can I live? Can I pay my bills? Can I not be in incredible amounts of debt? I mean, I would say, can I not be in debt at all, really? Because almost every business owner you see, like long term, they had no debt. I mean, they might have got business debt as they built their business, but they didn't start out with tons of actual personal debt. So the first thing is, can I pay my bills? Can I pay my debt? But if you even said, can I just pay my bills, and can I just make sure my debt and my payments are managed and won't balloon, or they overwhelm me? As long as you can do that, that's the starting point. And then from there, if your job can pay you more than that, can I save a little bit for a rainy day? And then if your job can pay you more than that, now can I invest in my business? So you have 3 tiers to get to be able to invest in your business. When you look at your money and you're like, oh, I make $60,000 a year. Well, how can you live in a way that's going to create that scenario? Do you have to make more? Like, is there no way with $60K a year that you can get there? Can you change where you live and change where you shop and go out less, and all of a sudden you can have an extra $100 or $200 to spend on your business per month? You don't have to start with thousands of dollars on your business. But I'm just saying, you want to create a steady stream of cash allocated for your business. That's actually more important. The lump sums are important too, but in reality, what sustains your business is the trickle of like $100, $200, $300 that you can spend every single month on your business to help it grow as you become cash positive and as you break even. Right? So if you're thinking about this structurally, you want to think, okay, I have a job, it pays me to live. How can I get a raise or an increase, because I'm already here, that allows me to save and then allows me to spend on my business? And that's what I did with the job I have now, which I should talk about the work I do, because it's actually freaking awesome. It's fascinating and it's amazing. I'm not super religious, but sometimes, God works, or energy does work in mysterious ways, because every job has been a culmination of all the skills I've ever had, which is like cool in itself. But this recent job is like a culmination of all the skills I built as an entrepreneur. So I do a lot of lean. I'm a lean expert. I train lean all over the world. Many of you guys know that. Conferences, training, speakers, consulting. I've done a lot of lean. And what's cool about that is, in the job I have now, I'm doing lean with people. So a long time ago, I remember I used to speak at the Lean Startup Conference in San Francisco, and they said, well, what do you do? I said, well, I do lean. And they go, well, tell me about what you did. And I said, well, I did lean with teachers. I helped them plan better curriculum so they could execute better with students, and build better classroom rules. And they were like, well, what do you mean? And I was like, this is what I did. And they were like, oh, we've never seen no one really does lean with people, meaning people do lean on process. How do I fix this widget? How do I make tech work better? How do I deliver more food directly? But no one ever says, how do I use lean to change like the hearts and minds of people? How do I use lean to like change how people work with other people? Really fascinating. People use design thinking to get their perspective as a customer, but people don't really like use lean as a way to like impact and maintain and change process and procedure within people and how people work and communicate with others. But that's what I do. It's relatively unique in the space. I don't think it's unique as an idea, but I think it's unique to see it in the space. So it was really cool. I'm in the tunnel right now, guys. You can see I'm just in the tunnel, just on the lift. But what's really cool is that now I'm working with school districts doing lean in schools, like with staff, like facilities people, principals, teachers. I mean, it's really cool stuff with big districts, and that's really, 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 really cool. That's really, really fun, and it really speaks to this. I had all these other goals around lean, a book, called Lean for Leaders, and training for people that are thinking in new agile ways and leadership roles, and it's just all culminates. And it's so funny because like things really work in funny ways. Even in my job, which is not my business, my passion still shows through. And I'm just saying that because I think a lot of us say, I want to give back and I want to help and I want to support. And you don't have to be an entrepreneur to make an impact in the world and to make a difference in the world. You just have to figure out what you love and find spaces and places to do that. And it might take a little time. I mean, I've had a lot of great jobs in my life, and I've hated all of them. And that's not right. And that's because I was young and naive and didn't realize how good I had it, because I had great work, things that were meaningful, impactful, that made a difference, jobs that people would have died for that I had, that I didn't value because I wasn't being able to be free and being an entrepreneur. But what you start to realize is when you actually do what you love, you are free, and it's not, and you don't mind spending and so this idea of like, well, I want my time back, is because you're not doing what you love. Because when you do what you love, you know, you're not concerned about the time. I don't clock in at 9, I don't leave at 5. That's why I'm going in at 6:30. They don't make me come in at 6:30. I'm choosing to come in at 6:30. I mean, I'm a senior level person in the company, so I can do that. But it's important to say that, like, you know, you build what you want for yourself, and it can look a lot of different ways than you think. So I would just say this morning, you know, think about what you care about and try to manifest that. Stop trying to manifest the way you think it has to go down, because you just don't know what's going to work best for you. And you should start with, what do I want to create in the world? How do I want to give back? How do I want to add value? Because if that's the thing you do, I was sitting in my office with my team and I was just like smiling, because I was like, oh my God, I'm doing the exact work I wanted to do. And so, like, that's crazy, because that's like a whole different path of my life that, like, I don't talk about in Black Women's Guide, but like in that direction as well, it's going exactly how I wanted it to once I released from what it had to look like. So that's just an update. Good morning, everyone. It's early morning here in Boston, 6-something-30 in the morning. And you know, yesterday I think I had like one plain bagel toasted, and maybe I had like a lentil soup at like 6. But you know what, full of energy and ready to get back at it. So have a wonderful day and enjoy. Go rise and grow.